Welcome back, everybody, to the Shadowed Path. My name is Norris, and this is my solo playthrough of The One Ring with my son. I read this right here. Interesting. I read this part right here, and so I said son instead of my character, Adir. Son of Onar, who is a dwarf. Here is his character sheet. Let's see here. This is his character sheet. He's a dwarf of Durin's folk. He's redoubtable. He's a messenger. He's prosperous. He's lordly, proud, folklore, and strider mode. He is prone to wandering madness, but that has not happened yet. Let's see here. He has a nice pony named something strange like Glinkle, which somebody from one of the episodes named in the comments. Last time, here's my notes from last session. As Adir travels north and away from Isengard, because he just spoke with Saruman, trying to figure out what he should do about the problem that Balin has. He's on a quest from Balin to find lore to dispel this monster in the let's see here. I'm just gonna zoom out here. The dwarf holds of the South Blue Mountains, these being the North Blue Mountains. He went to Saruman, and Saruman wasn't really interested in helping him, mainly because I had a terrible council phase. He did mention a place to the north, like way up here near the ice bay of Forochel. But that was just out of the question. He was like, I don't want to go on this wild goose chase. And maybe what I'll do is cut across Eregion and head up towards Rivendell and see if Elrond is a little kinder and has any more information that could help Balin in his quest, and so help Adir in his own quest, because his quest is to help Balin. So, while he was traveling to the north, however, a couple sessions ago, Adir has this item, amulet, cursed, owned, which means someone once owned it. It gave him +2 insight, but the downside of it is that it was owned by someone or something that is looking for it. Now, I decided that the person who owned it was none other than a Dunland chief's son, Dunland chief's father. And through some strange witchery / sorcery, the Dunland chieftain has deduced that this dwarf is carrying this amulet, and he wants it back. So it was quite perilous to be on the roads near Dunland. And as Adir was traveling, the Rohirrim showed up. So some while ago, I watched War of the Rohirrim on Amazon Prime, it's an okay movie. It's all animated, sort of like anime style. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. So it's not great. It's not terrible, but it's not wonderful. It was just sort of stilted. Anyways, not the point, not what I'm talking about today. So, but the Dunlanders and the Rohirrim had a lot of dealings before the War of the Ring. And so I was thinking, as Adir is going towards Dunland, he is overtaken by some of the Rohirrim. And they, after talking with him for a bit and figuring out his plan to head north, they said they were going north, and that and they were going to meet the Dunlanders, and if he would be so kind as to accompany them and be their spokesperson, because Dunlanders, the Dunlanders and the Rohirrim are not friendly. So there's a lot of prejudice there due to their history. The Dunlanders have been humiliated by the Rohirrim for centuries. Because War of the Rohirrim happens 200 years before the War of the Ring, I believe. So, the Dunlanders have a really long-standing prejudice because they've been treated badly, to be fair, by the Rohirrim. So the Rohirrim basically are like, well, you're a dwarf. They might not hate you as much. They have their own history with dwarves, the Dunlanders, but maybe not as bad. So that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna all go to the north, and Adir is sort of under protection of 15 Rohirrim soldiers, the leader of whom is named Elomir, son of Elingus. Okay. Here we go. Adir joins with them to confront some of the Dunlanders, and Elomir wants him to be the spokesperson for the group. So I think the first thing is to decide exactly how that's going to work, in the sense that the Dunlanders want this amulet back. It's an heirloom of their chief's family. It's a artifact of their heritage. Adir did not steal it. He took it from an effigy. Like, there's like a weird shrine that he encountered in like my first or second session, I think, with him. And Adir took it, thinking that it was a nice amulet, and it was, it was sort of magical. So that was nice. So it was good, but a nice useful item. However, it also was owned by someone, and it almost got him into trouble. But at the same time, I think the Dunlanders have very little interest in dealing with the Rohirrim. I don't know. Yes. And so I think they would make themselves scarce, despite the fact that they would see that this dwarf has allied himself with the Rohirrim, and they would be like, no, we'll corner him when he's alone. We're not gonna go fight the Rohirrim to try to get this thing back, right? And that makes sense to me, which means I think this would be something of a travel role. Now, of course, we're functioning on the premise that Adir is on the back of a horse with one of the Rohirrim to carry him. And so we need to go to here and go to the our travel checks and things like that. Although, hang on, let's go to, nope, not fellowship phase, adventuring phase, journeys. I think this is going to be quite different than a normal travel, though, because I think for starters, it's, what's the word? He's on horseback, he's got numbers, it's less dangerous. These things are all true. So the first thing to do, I guess, is to roll our check. Now, Adir is very versed at travel, so he's got 3, and then he gets favored, which looks something like that in my hand. But since he's traveling with a group and on horseback, and a group who is on a mission who is feared, I'm going to say it's much less perilous. So I'm going to give him plus 2 more die. So I'm rolling 5 die plus favored for this journey check. Now, if you're new to the run one ring, I don't know why you would be. If you're watching episode 13, you've come a long ways if you've watched the rest. But a big part of the game is journey rolls, which different things happen. That's how I met the Rohirrim. I got a chance meeting, and that's how I met them. So, anyways, the check is going to go, and it's going to determine how far I travel before we get an event. Event? Oh, yes. Okay. So, first things first is the travel roll. I have these axe cards here because A, Adir uses 2 axes, and B, it makes it so my dice show up better when I roll. So I'm looking for, let's see here. I don't think I need a 13 to succeed. Definitely going to succeed on this because I got a 9. Ooh, and then I got 2 6s. So it is autumn. So it's October 2nd. Oh, it was October 2nd when he left. So how far did he travel? We're going to say, yeah, so he traveled like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. So it is, I'm going to go session 13 starts on October 8th. And then he travels for, so it'd be two on a success, so that'd be 1 and 2, and then I get 2 more successes, so 1, 2 for those. Sorry, I left the not good. Well, those were not bad die, but so I get 1. So if I had gotten no successes, it would have been an event after 1 day, but since I got 3 successes, it's a 4-day thing because it's 2 on a success plus 2 extra for each one for each of these 6s. So I make it a good distance before we roll our thing. And this is interesting because we have these. Adir is with a bunch of humans, and so I'm really curious how this is going to go with our event. Now, let's see. Is this a Dreadland? No, it's not. Okay, so it's just a normal roll on the event, solo journey event thing. Here we go. That's a 6, which would be a mishap. Okay, let's go to the mishaps table. Here we go. We're going to roll a d6. That's a 5. Rough terrain. Explore to safely traverse. Okay. Rough terrain. So I guess that totally makes sense. Because right here, well, not quite, but I think, what happened was that the Dunlanders have put up, like, not obstacle, like deterrents, or like things to make the journey more difficult along the road. They felt and saw the Rohirrim coming. This is their land. Oh wait, we're going to Dunland, not up the road. So I guess it would also make sense that we went 1, 2, 3, and more like 4. Yeah, that makes more sense. And maybe there is like some roads here, or at least paths. And I think the Dunlanders have tried to make this difficult. I think they've tried to make it more arduous than it should be, and maybe put up things that make it so horses can't go there, because they have no love for horses, none whatsoever, especially from Rohan. So maybe the question is more about the rough terrain being like horse deterrents and things like that. If the roll fails, add 1 day to the length of the journey, gain 1 additional fatigue. Okay, and this is an explore roll. How's oh, whoops, wrong thing. Explore is decent, okay. And I'm going to add an extra D because we have these humans with us, and that's going to stand for sort of like maybe one of their scouts as well with that extra dice. Okay. I imagine that they are riding sort of up this, like in the forest, and they come to a place where like many like trees have been felled across the way. And in order to get the horses across or around, Adir and one of the Rohirrim sort of strike out in either direction, trying to be sneaky in order to explore to find a way around this obstacle. Okay, I need 14, so 8, 9, 10. Definitely succeeded. So that's a success. So that's good. My fatigue does go up. Let's see here. Roll, add 1 day. Oh, 2 fatigue. Oh, that's not, I don't love that. Fatigue is pretty brutal in this. Okay. So that's up to 6 fatigue. And let's see. I think, yeah, he's able to find, I would have said maybe if we had failed, then it would have been like, can't take the horses. But yeah, I think they find like maybe are able to cut a path around these fallen trees. I think what's his name? Elomir. I think he sees this as like a sign they're going in the right direction. I think. And now we're gonna do a trial. So like a proper trial here. I wonder if this is a thing. It's going to act very much like a fellowship phase. Let's see. Or, excuse me, a council phase. In the sense of, we're looking for these Dunlanders. And the Dunlanders, they don't want to be found by the Rohirrim. This is not what they're interested in. They're keeping out of the way. So, it says set resistance. I think this is quite difficult. Like, is it outrageous? No, I think the Rohirrim are able woodsmen, regardless of their skill with horses. But they're not idle. They know how to track things. They know how to navigate forests, and they deal with the Dunlanders quite often. And so I think in this respect, it's going to be a 6 is required. And yeah, so then I need to figure out what my sort of like, I imagine we set up camp somewhere around here in this hex, and the Rohirrim sort of like establish like a place of operation, and we need to sort of get a lay of the land. So this is going to be like the introduction, but it's very much more like, can we fortify things, make sure that everything is what's the word? Like very, what's the word? Like walled off and safe, that they set sentries, things like that. I'm going to say again that this would be an explore roll to sort of like set the perimeter of their camp while they are here. So again, explore. I'm going to take an extra die to simulate the help of one of the humans. And this is going to set the time, the amount of time. So I'm going to need 6 successes to find the Dunlanders. And there's going to be a specific number of time, or basically rolls, that I get to try to do that. Now, I think if there's a failure, it's going to be pretty bad if I can't find them. But we'll figure that out later. So, how much time do I get? On a success, it's 3. No, let me see. let's go back and look. The setting of the resistance. I don't like that there. I want that there. There we go. Set resistance. I need to set the time limit. Introduction. If the roll is a failure, the time limit is 3. If the roll is a success, the time limit is 4 plus 1 for each 6. Okay, so on a success, it's 4 plus 1 for each 6. Okay, well, that's pretty good. So I got 8. Definitely succeeded. A 5 and a 1. Okay, definitely a success. And that means I get a time limit of 5 to try to find these guys. And then I'm going to say we need to roll different skill checks for each idea, just like to simulate the whole group sort of working together and doing different jobs. And if they all do a good job collectively, then they're able to find the Dunlanders. So that would be, I think, first off, song, awareness. Let's do a scan to try to find any, and I think this is just going to, the first thing will be scan, excuse me. And again, I'm going to take an extra die because I have all these humans with me. I almost want to not do that because it feels a little broken, but it makes sense. We're all on this together. We're all trying to find these people. And so it makes sense that I get an extra die to just simulate the extra help, right? So a scan roll, we're going to go for that. So I get 4 and my feat die. And I think the scan is to try to find like their likely trails, like, and find maybe their footsteps and things like that, their footprints in the woods and stuff. Like, I think there's this network of Dunland trails, probably hunting trails, maybe thoroughfares that they use throughout the woods and paths, and Adir and the others are trying to find them. So that's what they're doing. That's a 7 or a 1, I can't tell. Oh, it's a 7. Okay. That's a weird 7. 7. I needed 13, so I definitely do succeed, but it's just a single success. That's 1 success. Okay. Gotta go to here. Go like this. So, searching for the Dunlanders. And then go resistance 6 time 5 successes 1. Okay. Oh, and time, I've used 1 of 5. And I've gotten 1 success out of 6. Okay. Okay, and I can't use scan again. So we definitely find some of the trails and tracks. So we know they're around. We also are just very aware that they're hiding. I'd say the next one is going to be a hunting roll. To figure out, hunting is sort of like, how does that fit in? Hunting could be like tracking them, right? Of trying to like track them down. Maybe that'd be until last. I think actually a second one will be stealth. And my Adir's stealth is hot garbage. So, and I don't think having more people around would make it easier to stealth. And so I'm not going to give any extra die. I just get this. That's the only thing I get. So here we go. I just need a straight Gandalf rune. Did not get it. Got a 6. So the time goes up. My successes do not. We did explore. Ooh. I think. Ooh, an awareness roll. To try to hear, I think maybe an awareness roll, taking 1d extra as for the humans. Maybe as they search, as Adir searches, as the others search, they also like, it's an awareness thing of like just the feeling that they're being watched, and maybe even listening for, coded calls of the birds, or any way that these people might be like communicating and watching them, because it's like there's no way that they'd let the Rohirrim just wander about trampling their lands. And so oh, there we go. I dropped one of my die, but I got it back. So I got 3 dice plus the 12-sided die. Here we go. I need some successes. Oh dear. That's bad. That's a 3. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a fail. That's a fail. And I only get 2 more tries. Yeah. I think maybe what happens is with this failure, they deduce that a lot of the tracks and the things that they thought were signs that the Dunlanders were here actually weren't. They weren't. And so they're going to move camp. They're going to actually press further in to the forest and towards the mountains to try to find them. And that means they're going to do a travel roll, which I know they pick up. I think each of these rolls is like a single day, right? So, 8, so 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 13, 14, 15th. It's October 15th. Yeah. Okay. Need some big rollers. Oh. So that's great. I succeeded in my travels of like moving camp, maybe to a more advantageous outlook, like in the foothills of the mountains, like somewhere up high, so that they can see out over some of the forests and maybe try to spot like, their like a campfire or smoke or something. But again, that is only 1 success, and I only have 2 successes, and I need 4 more in a single roll. Okay. Yeah. I already know what's going to happen when I fail this last roll. The last... Okay. The last roll has got to be hunting, because I cannot think of anything else that I haven't used that would work. Song doesn't I think I could use song, but I'd still not be able to get the needed 4, because singing, maybe Adir could sing a good song and have the Dunlanders hear it, but without, I think if a Rohirrim joined along, that's not helpful because they don't like the Rohirrim, so we can't get the extra die. So I think it's got to be hunting. Oh, I could do a song by myself, get the extra feat die, then use a hope point, which means I'd need to succeed on this, I need get that hope die. Oh, am I folklore, proud, lordly? I don't think any of those really work. So I need to pass. I need to get all three of them as 6s. Crazier things have happened. So I imagine that Adir sort of tells the Rohirrim to stay in the camp, and he goes out into the woods to a place where he thinks his voice could resonate, and he's going to sing a song. Hang on, I'm going to roll a lore check. How good is this song? This is not part of the test. Oh, it's really a shit song. He doesn't really know anything about the Dunlanders, unfortunately. So he's going to sing a song maybe about nature or something, which I'm actually going to say, oh no, that can't work. Okay. Yeah, maybe just like a song about, he could sing a song about lost treasure. And it's metaphorical. It's not necessarily literal lost treasure. Maybe they want a treasure that he has that they lost. So maybe this is actually a really good tact. So, come on, I need all 6s. Yeah, definitely didn't do it. God. That was not very good. I mean, I succeeded. But 3 successes out of 6 and it's over. So, and that's going to be October 17th. Okay, what are the consequences of this? I mean, I think I already sort of know what the obvious consequences are. Which isn't great. So he sings this song, no one comes. He goes back to the camp. I imagine their camp is on top of a hill in a small clearing that sort of overlooks the forest to the west. To their east are these towering mountains, the Misty Mountains. And Adir tells Elomir, I do not think they are wanting to be found. Your people, their people, perhaps it is not something that they wish for. They hide, and they will not come out. Elomir is frustrated because, and I forgot about this, last session they were going to talk to a witch because what was it? Like the princess or like a shield maiden of Edoras was under some type of curse. I think that's what I said last time. I should go probably watch that episode. It's weird watching myself though. So he says, Elomir says, there is no excuse for cowardice. These Dunlanders know nothing of honor. It is my duty to treat with this witch and save one of my people who all admire. And Adir says, I think they know this land better than you horsemen. And I think that if they do not want to be found, then perhaps they will not be found. But if you should leave, I think they will come back. But I will not be here for it. They will kill me. And I think Elomir eyes Adir and he goes, so, what you say is that if we desert you, they may show themselves. Yes, that is what I'm saying. If you leave me now, you leave me to death. Elomir and his men look at each other like, should they do that? I think... Okay. Adir doesn't want this to happen. He doesn't... I was thinking that the Dunlanders were going to attack the whole camp, but now that I'm having this strange dialogue with myself, I feel like Elomir is more likely to just peace out, because he's like, well, if we can make ourselves scarce, maybe we can get the Dunlanders to come out of hiding to try to kill this dwarf, and then we can swoop in and kill the Dunlanders, or figure out how to talk to them, right? History. Song. Walking song. I don't know. Song of Victory. Oh. Rich at Heart. Song of Victory. I'm going to have to look that up later. So, I think Adir says, if you leave me, you leave of one who is on a grand mission, from Balin, son of Fundin, one of the 13 dwarves who took back the Lonely Mountain from the dragon Smaug. If by chance I escape, or by chance news of my demise come to King Dane, or to Balin, it will not be good for anyone. Not the friendship between our peoples, nor the likely retribution that may come. He's going to try to awe this guy into not peace out. 7. Oh, yep, that's a success. And it's an extra success at that. I think not only does Elomir take him for his word and think that he's important. Oh, I could have used features, my distinctive feature of like lordly as well, but that's okay. Because I succeeded. Elomir says, very well, dwarf. You make a fine argument, and it is not our custom to leave good strangers who were willing to come to our own aid in the wilds. Have no fear. We will not desert you. Adir rests a bit easier. Now, that night, and this is the attack. This is the consequence. There's going to be a fight, and let's make some rolls here with the oracle real quick. I think the yes/no oracle is what I need right now. Ill fortune, fortunate. Oh, I could roll on the ill fortune. Nah, I think I already know. So, everyone goes to sleep. So I think the question is Adir the one on watch when the attack happens? I'm going to say doubtful just because there's so many Rohirrim that I don't think... Well, I guess they'd probably have 2 people up. So I'm going to say middling. So 6 or greater is a yes. Always yes, with an extreme result or twist. The Gandalf rune. So he is definitely on guard, on watch. And what's that twist? I wonder if they have a twist thing for this. Like, nope. Oh, these are quests and stuff. Nope, that's it. Twist. Note also that rolling a Gandalf results in an automatic yes or no, respectively, with an extreme result or twist. I wonder if it... Oh, here we go. For example, your player hero wanders into a roadside inn, and your wanderer, if they recognize anyone from... Oh, you roll a thing, which according to the table is always yes, with an extreme result or twist. You determine, perhaps with help from the lore table, okay, page 11, that your player hero does see a friendly face, a friend they thought lost to the shadow. Okay, so maybe on the lore table I should roll. So let's see. Focus. Should I roll on focus? I think I'm just going to roll on each of them. So this is the twist. This is the action. 5, 6. 5, 6 journey. I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. Journey 9-1. Stony. And focus 2-6. Two, 6 dreams. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Journey, stony, dreams. What does that mean? What does that mean? Journey, stony, dreams. Stony dreams. Aspect. Stony. Focus. I'm going to have a think on this. I'll be right back. Okay, I got it. That actually didn't take long. I was gone for like 30 seconds. This is what happens. Adir is set to his post. He takes the 3rd watch of the night. All seems still and quiet. He can hear the guard he took over for bedding down, as well as the other guard. I think they have 2 people on each shift due to how many people they have. and the camp they made. And as Adir looks out into the night, his ears strained against the sound of the wind, I think it begins to rain. He pulls his hood, his cloak tight about him, and then that rain, somehow it feels like the sound of it coming down turns to the sound of, in his mind, the sound of small pebbles rolling down a hill, rolling down a small embankment. And a great sleepiness comes over him. And he falls asleep. And this is definitely like a curse of some kind from the witch, from the Dunland witch. She's somehow put him to sleep with this sound of falling stones. And in his dream, he is standing at a door. A door that's part of a great wall. Huge, towering, sheer cliff face. And he knows exactly what Balin has been looking for. Now, on this map, you'll see very clearly that it says the West Gate of Moria. This adventure takes place with the premise that the West Gate has been lost. No one knows where it is. And Balin is trying to find it. But he's being sneaky about it. He doesn't want Gandalf to know. He doesn't want King Dane to know. Dane has forbade anyone to go into Moria. Excuse me. I don't know if forbade and forbid is the same thing. Have to look that up. He's forbid anyone to go into Moria. Here's Eastgate. Here is Westgate. And I'm saying that Eastgate is known, but it's also watched. And Westgate, no one knows where it is, so it's not watched. So Balin thinks he could maybe get in through Westgate because he wants to go back. This takes place 5 years before he goes. And so Adir has not been told exactly what Balin is searching for. I don't think. Maybe he has. I haven't gone back and looked at some of my other sessions for a long time, so yep, maybe he has. I don't remember. But what I do know is that in this dream, he is standing before the doors, the west doors, the doors of Durin. And he's breathless, like he just ran there. And he turned, and as he looks up, the door lights up in moonlight. The runes carved there is glimmer, and it says across the door on top, Doors of Durin, the Doors of Durin, Lord of Moria, speak, friend, and enter. I think that's what it says in the books. And he looks at it, and from behind him he hears a dull, dry, a voice like the crinkling of dry leaves says, You are not the only one who seeks a treasure that is not. You are not the only one who seeks a forbidden treasure. And he wheels about. He sees a woman. I'm going to find a picture of her because I know this one. Her name is the Eater of Ghosts. She's a witch. That's her. He sees this woman standing before her, hunched over, or actually standing straight. I like that more. She has many tattoos on her arms and wears bones around her neck and in her hair. She carries a staff and dresses in loose, baggy clothing, pants and a shirt. And she says, "Treasure that has a price comes at a price, even if you do not pay it right away." And Adir says, I do not understand. I know that these are the doors, but I do not know how to make them open. Eater Ghost says, "It is not about opening them. It is about keeping them locked." It is not about killing you. It is about taking back what is rightfully ours. And that catches his attention, I would think. He goes, "I don't know why you need to kill me. What is it you want?" And Irigo points at him, and she says, "That trinket that you wear around your neck." And like that, poof, she's gone from the dream. He wakes up, and I'm going to roll a d12. And this is how many Rohirrim have already been killed. Oh, only 2. Okay. Could be worse. So 2 Rohirrim have already been slain in their sleep before the alarm goes up. The other guard, clearly, got shot with an arrow. And maybe one of the others who had been maybe slain right then. Now, I don't think Eater of Ghost is there, but I do think Timber is probably there. Eater of Ghost, I think, was off casting this ritual spell. So I think the question is how many Dunlanders are there? Evok maybe is actually who's here. Chieftains Evok the Boneless. Ooh, that doesn't sound great. He is close to Saruman and listens closely when the wizard speaks of bringing order and strength to the lands west of the Gap of Rohan. The White Wizard's words paint a vision of a new division of the world when the bloodless, fragile kingdom of Gondor and their Rohirrim lapdogs will be swept away, and a new age of men will begin, men not beholden to the distant past. He may be fatherless and boneless, but Evok is determined that he will not die crownless. Interesting. Okay. So I guess the question is how many people are there here? Quite a few. If there's 15 Rohirrim and a dwarf, that means I'm gonna say they're not gonna attack with less people than that. So that means we're gonna do, how about 6? Well, yeah, they're not going to come with less people than that. So I'm going to say it's 15 plus 2d6. So 16 or 15, so 21. We'll call it just an even 20 to make it simpler for everyone. They've already killed 2 Rohirrim, so I got to take some notes here. Adir speaks with Eater of Ghosts in a dream. He wakes as the Roh are under attack. 2 have been slain, and there are 20 Dunlanders, including Evok the Boneless. And I think Evok is the son of the person who has this amulet. And well, we know where the ghost eater is the one, the eater of ghosts is the one that put this curse on the Rohirrim shield maiden. So here we go. We have 2 dead. So they had 15, so they're down to 13. 13 Rohirrim. And plus Adir, and we've got 20 or 19 Dunlanders and Evok. So I'm going to go back to here. I think this is important to have a map and actually use tokens a bit for this. Characters, generics. We'll just do, for the Rohirrim, we'll do the bow, because they're typically good with the bow. Wow, that's humongous. Okay, neato. So, what's this? Nope. Oh, good. I can just copy these. So, I'm just trying to gauge, like, here, I'm going to set this up and then I'll show you. Okay, so the way that this combat's going to work is that Adir has 2 Dunlanders attacking him. Everyone else has been paired off with at least 1 other person. Now, I'm going to say that Adir and his companions do not get any ranged attacks because they are being ambushed, but the enemy does. Now, I think, let's see here, I need the adversaries. Loremaster, Evil Men, Southerner Champion, Ruffian Footpad, Wiry, Highway Robber. Thought that it was like a Dunlander at some point. Maybe in here? No? Yeah, that's fine. I don't think I really need specific stats for all these guys. I know the game well enough that I can say how much they have, but I think running this many attacks would just be crazy. So I'm going to say I'm just going to roll, let's see here, How am I going to do this? So there's 19 of them. So I think I'll roll 2d12. Well, I already rolled for how many had already been killed before they acted. So maybe that's enough, because it could have been way, way worse. But I could imagine while like everybody's trying to get out of bed, trying to get up and grab their things, like arrows are flying in from all sides. And so I'm going to roll another d12 and say the number is how many Rohirrim die. That's another 5. Now I'm going to this is Evok versus Elomir. I'm not going to say either of them can die. Wow, that was weird. I was talking and recording, and my program just completely shut off. Luckily, it saved. My recording program shut off. Luckily, it saved it, and had to like sort of, encode it and process it and stuff. And so I went and took a shower and came back, and it was done. So now I can finish the session. I'll splice them together later. So, anyways, I was saying that Evok and Elomir, they can't die, but all these guys are piling in. So we've got 3 around Adir, and 3 around this guy here, and 3 around that guy here. And really, the only thing I'm going to be role playing and rolling for properly is Adir versus the others. I think they have a combination of melee weapons, maybe spears. I think would be the easiest thing to make, and so spears is what they're gonna all have. Yes. So this is sort of very thematic music. Whoops. So here we go. Each at the end of each round, I'm going to have the Rohirrim roll 1d6 per each. On a 3 up, they kill someone, or on a 4 up, they kill someone, and then I'll do the same thing for all the other guys, unless I'm able to kill some of them off. Adir goes first, however. Let's take a look at Adir's. So his axes, he's got axes 2, so I get 2, and this, he's just gonna wade in and hope for the best. Now, do they have any parry? I guess he's just gonna go for this guy right here. This is who he's targeting. Here we go. Nope, that's not right. How do you... Nope, not hide. Nope, not name. Duplicate? No. I wanted to put like a little replace image, copy, accessibility. No. Attach? No. I wanted to put a little like ring around. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so I'm gonna toss this around. Whoa, that's humongous. That's crazy. It says Hunter's Mark, but that's fine. I don't care. Okay, so that's the one I'm attacking. Just to be clear about which one I'm attacking. I'm gonna ask, does he have a shield? On a 6 up, it's a yes. No, does not have a shield. 2-handed spear. I remember the stats for that, but first, Adir gets to swing away with his axes. 5, 9, 10. Not going to cut it. So, interesting. He misses completely. Now it's my enemy's turn. So the first one has no spear. I'd say that it's... they each have 1 pip in their spear skill. This is going to do 4 damage, 16 injury rating if it hits. 8, 9, 10, 11 isn't going to hit. The second one's going to go. Does this one have a spear? Or a shield? Yes. This one has a shield, so it's 4 damage, 14 injury rating. That's not going to hit either. And the last one, does the last one have a shield? That's an Eye of Sauron, which would mean yes? Yeah, I guess so. Just gives it +1 to parry. So the one I'm attacking is the only one that doesn't have a shield. This one's going to roll as well. It also misses. Man, this is tough. Okay, so now each of the Rohirrim, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. On each 4 up, they kill someone. 1, 2. Ooh, this. Oh, wow. That was an insanely good roll for a 4 up. Man, that's crazy. So, 6. They take down 6 guys. I'm just going to pull from. Okay. It happened again. I think I know why. It's because I pushed the delete button. So, no more of that. So, I deleted 1 already. Deleted 2. We'll delete this one. 3. And 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now it's their turn. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them. So 4 ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. On 4 ups, there are going to be deaths. Here's the first roll. So that's 3 more Rohirrim dead. And then the last rolls. Ooh, another. So 6 total. Okay, yikes. That's almost all of them. Very well may be surrounded here in a second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yikes. Okay, and then that comes to Elomer and Evok, the Bloodless. So I think Evok is going to. Let's see. Let's take a look at his stats. I don't quite remember. Oh, wrong person. Here we go. Long-hafted axe. He's got 3. Okay. I'm going to say that, Elomir is somewhere similar to this, but we're going to have, I guess Elomir would go first technically. I'm going to give him resolve, no parry. Okay. So Elomir has a sword. We're going to say he's got 3 dice, and the sword is, say he's got a sword and shield, like the sword and shield, so 3 damage, injury is 14, and yeah. So he's going to take this attack, and he needs say he's got strength 5. I think it's fair. So he definitely succeeds. He even scores a special hit, which would mean he does 6 damage total, which is pretty darn good. So Evok takes 6 damage. Or no, he deals 3 damage plus 5 damage. So he deals 8 damage. Okay, and then Evok goes back and is going to try to break his shield if he can, if he gets a special success with his axe. I think so. Evok. Elomir's parry probably better than mine, better than Adir's. So let's say 16. So 7, 9, that's 16. So he does hit, and he deals 6 damage to Adir. Not to Adir, to Elomir. Oh, there's 12 of these guys. And then Elamir. There we go. He takes 6 damage as well. So they're pretty evenly matched. So then it's back to the top, which is Adir's turn. I don't think this is a fight that they can win. So at this point, I think it's time to use a Strider rule, which is some of the system. Lore table. Nope. Adventurer. Crafting your hero. So I think this has something to do with the Strider stance. Oh, I forgot to do the stance thing. Oh, ho hum. Let's see here. Find Strider or stance. The new stance. Outnumbered, outmatched. The solo experience in the One Ring is often fraught with peril, and never is this more apparent than during combat. Alone, an adventurer can easily become overwhelmed by foes. That sounds familiar. Utilize tools like skirmish stance and its associated task, gain ground to stay on the move, and when things look dire, don't hesitate to flee combat to live to fight another day. So, skirmish stance, combat in Strider mode operates much the same as it does in the One Ring core rules, with a number of opening volleys, preceding close combat. Okay, here's skirmish stance. Ranged combat, I don't have a ranged weapon. You fight on the move, navigating the terrain and exchanging volleys with pursuing or fleeing foes. You can only attack your adversaries using ranged weapons. Adversaries that attack you with melee weapons lose 1d, while those who attack you with ranged weapons suffer no penalty. For ranged attack rolls, you lose 1d. To escape from combat, roll for your ranged attack without losing 1d on the roll. If you succeed, you do not inflict any damage, but instead leave the field. Otherwise, you remain engaged. Combat task, gain ground. What's that? Gain ground. Combatants on the move can attempt to gain an advantageous position against their foes, ambushing enemies or firing from an overlook. To do so, the acting player makes an athletics or scan roll as the main action for the round. On a success roll, the attacker gains 1d on their next ranged attack, plus another 1d for each success. These bonus dice can be used on a ranged attack roll to escape the combat. Complications and advantages. Okay, well, I don't think that would help me at all, but I think it's time to go, right? Like, we see all these people falling, so Adir is going to he's going to use a hope point, and he's going to get a +1 dice to try to flee. And the way that this works is basically I just make an attack roll, and instead of doing damage, I get away. But this was bad. This was not good. So that's what he's going to do. Here we go. He's going to try to get out of here. And then we're going to see if the other guys can get out. Oh no. It's so bad. It's so bad. That's a 3, 2, 2, and 5. Oh, that's a 12. I think that actually makes it. Oh my gosh. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He just makes it. He just makes it. That's crazy. Okay. He makes it out. So I'm going to say Adir is able to escape sort of into the woods somehow. Somewhere around here in that hex. We'll see if this guy can make it out as well. He's got 2 attacks as well, but he doesn't get to spend hope. And he's looking for, let's say, he's got 4, so he's looking for 16. So that's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. So he doesn't make it, and Elomir, he sees the writing on the wall as well. He's going to do the same thing and try to escape. He needs this 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. He just makes it 2. So Elomir also makes it. I'm going to shrink him down. Actually, I'm just going to delete him. So this guy's taken hostage and captive. Ugh, man, that's brutal. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 Dunlanders plus Evok are on the loose. So Elomir and Adir are now on the run, hiding in the forest by themselves. I think they're together. That makes a better story. Trying to evade. Okay, that's what we're going to put here. Night of October 17th. And then we'll put all but Elomir and one of the Rohirrim die. Adir and Elomir escape. Evok and oh my gosh, and the other Dunlanders are searching for them. Okay, so that's where we are with Adir and Elomir hiding in the forest, trying to evade these Dunlanders as they search for them. That's a really tough order, especially because, let's see. Oh yeah, my stealth is like nothing. It's very bad. So that's very, very interesting. Okay, and that is where I'm going to end our session today with all the different editing things that went on. It's been a pretty good long session. We didn't make it anywhere, unfortunately. Like nothing. I mean, lots happened. The dream was cool. Things like that happened, but it was frustrating to feel like all of our plans just didn't work out. The fact that we failed that trial to try to find the Dunlanders was a shame, and I think it took so long that they finally were able to get the courage up to like basically attack at night, and that's where we are now. All right. I hope you've enjoyed this. My name is Nors. If you are interested in the One Ring, I will link it in the show notes. I will link also Owlbear Rodeo. Everybody knows it, but it's not bad. That's the tabletop, the VTT I'm using, as well as my Ko-fi page. If you want more content like this and enjoy my videos, please like and subscribe. And if you have the extra capital, toss me some. It helps me be able to feel like I can do this more often and things like that. So anyway, great session. Until next time, traveler, light the torch and journey into the dark.